Welcome to this 15-minute animal flow video. So the purpose of the animal flow is to increase your mobility. You'll get stronger in some awkward areas, and as you get used to it and you go through it faster and faster, there'll also be a conditioning session as your heart rate gets high. So we're going to focus on progressions in two main areas. We'll look at crabs and all their progressions, and then bears and variations there. For the crab, we're going to start off sitting down. So this is going to be tough as we go through these progressions on your hips and your shoulders, as well as other areas, but those are the main two. So first of all, get your hands, turn them so they're facing right behind you. If you don't have that mobility, that's okay, they can face it a little bit, but ideally they're pointing quite far behind you. Then you're just going to get used to this position. So raise your hips slightly, rock them forwards and backwards. Just 3 of them, nice and gentle. Then side to side slightly as well. All this is doing is getting used to taking load here through your wrists, through your elbows, your shoulders, little circles as well, both ways, go 3 times each way. So as you're doing that, you'll probably feel a lot of pressure through here as you get used to it. That's great. They're just getting stronger. Okay, then relax. Shake your wrists off if you need to. And then find that position again. So here my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm going to come up again. This time feet are going to stay flat, and raise my hips as far as I can and drop my head back as I do it. And then relax. I'm going to go 5 of them, just up, hold it for a second, and then down again. So just like this. There we go, so that's 2. Remember to drop your head back to help open up your chest there and get your hips higher. So 3 to go. And really squeeze my glutes at the top here to get as high as possible. There we go. Okay, and shake the wrists off. If your wrists are feeling particularly tight, then just come to your knees, loosen them off, give them a little stretch. So hands facing forward is easy. You're going to rotate them around, see how far around you can get them. Hopefully the fingers point right back at your body, and then gently just lean back until something in here feels like it's stretching. So lean back, go slightly side to side. So that stretch is going all over that part of your arms, your forearms and your wrists. Just 20 seconds here, moving around. It's getting easier and easier, and try and turn your fingers more and more around. That will deepen the stretch. 20 seconds and then relax. So that's the first part of the crab stuff. Now we're going to progress it, so you're into that same position. But now we're going to try and think of our body coming up and being in a semicircle. So start off, same setup, going to come up, and then from there we're going to go into a single arm hold. So up we go, and reaching over. So if my left arm's the one coming up, it reaches over towards my right shoulder, and I look up and over as well. So everything is in a semicircle. And I'm going to do that on the other side too. So up and reach. You notice as I do this, I come up onto my toes as I do it as well. That's just to help everything get into that semicircle. So we're going to go 3 more times on each side with a little pause when you get to the top. There you go. So you should feel that you're actually starting to get warm now, breathing a little bit heavier. And this is just the slow version as well. You can see how it can ramp up. So next up, I'm going to put some movement into this. So those are called crab reaches. Now we're going into crab walks. Multi-directional, and there's two ways of doing them. So the first one is just getting into that position we first practiced, so hips just off the ground. This one's more around strengthening the shoulders and the wrists. And you're just in that position and just walking, whatever room you have, about a meter one way and a meter the other, and then the same forwards and backwards. So go on in a little square. So that's stage one. The second one is trying to keep your hips high as you do it. So if you've got tight hips, this will be particularly challenging. You set up in that position, up you go to that tabletop position, try and keep them high. So real challenge there, as you can see, to keep my hips high with the hips being so tight. So the key thing to look for in these is that if you're feeling the tension coming through your hamstrings, you want it to come more from the glutes. So consciously trying to let your hamstrings relax and really push it up through your glutes as high as you can so that your hamstrings are not doing the work. Now we're into our bear progressions. So the key to all this is that you lightly engage your trunk, your knees stay as close to the ground as possible, and you pull your scaps back so you have a flat back. What does this look like? Set yourself, hands shoulder width apart, flatten your back, curl your toes under, and there come the knees. So that is your basic bear position. So to practice that, you're going to start just moving in a small square, just to get used to holding that position at different angles. So we'll go 2 squares of just about 1 meter in each direction. So that's a multi-directional bear crawl. Now to strengthen this and to get a bit more mobility into your hips, we're going to go into a loaded bear. So there's 2 variations to this. The first one, you're just going to go into your bear, you're going to sink backwards and then back to this position. So really load backwards and then back again. So as I'm going backwards, I'm really loading up my hips. If I'm quite tight, it's like getting into a deep squat position. I'll feel that there. So you can even hold it for a little second at the back. I'm going to do 5 of them. There we go. So that's progression 1. It's a loaded bear. Now, to make it harder and also get some more shoulder strength in there, we're going from a loaded bear up into a forward single leg bear. So what that's look like, here's an example, 1 in each leg. So I go back and load it, and then come forward and bring my knee outside my elbow. So we're going to start off slow with this. We're going to go 5 in each side. There we go. So as you can see, as I come forward with one leg, the other leg, trying to straighten that hip at the back, and really tense that glute. Like that. So that's it, tense at the back. So there's 2 progressions to it. You can see how that gets faster and faster. I'm going to get your heart rate up. So now we'll go for another 5 each side, but really quickly. You should feel like you're getting warmer again, heart rate's starting to get up, harder to talk normally as you breathe heavier. So the last bit of progression we're going to do is where your leg comes through and you start to twist, almost like you're getting into that crab position. So again, this is going to be a lot of shoulder strength and looking at some mobility around your hips. Start in your bear position and then coming through. So you come through this way. That's all we're getting to right now. So my left arm comes up, my right arm leg comes through. And any other way. So just get used to that. Go 3 in each side. There you go. So that's more learning the coordination, making sure the shoulders are feeling good as you rotate round onto them and load them up. We're going to piece them together, so we're going bear into a crab, back into the bear, and then go the other way. So to do 1 on each side, this is it. So I've pieced the 2 of them together there. So we're going to finish up. We're going to go 3 on each side with a little pause at the top on the crabs, and then rest. And there's our bear progressions, and tying them into the crabs as well. So you've done an animal flow, got your heart rate up, strengthened your shoulders and around your wrists, and should be feeling more mobile.